Sam Robinson pleaded guilty today in York to the execution-style murders. Our South Carolina reporter Greg Susskind broke this story on that day back in February 2019.
He was in court as prosecutors detailed how Robinson was identified so quickly. Greg.
Yeah, well, when Sam Robinson jumped out of the car he was sitting in the back of after shooting two people in the back of the head, that car rolled into the fence you see right there behind me and came to a stop. Robinson ran, but later came back to the scene because he remembered he'd left his cell phone charging in that car and wanted to come back and get it. He told everybody that had come outside of their houses by that time he was just checking on his buddies. Prosecutors say 16-year-old Sam Robinson was a gang member who had no reason to shoot Zaquarius McCrory and Malik McCullough. They were all friends, together in the same car on that day in February 2 years ago.
The depravity that's involved in killing people like this, for no apparent reason other than maybe the gang status.
Hey, folks, how you doing? Hey, listen, look at that, man. Guy, 16 years old. 16 years old. Sit in the back seat of the car with two other guys in their 20s. And basically right now is, guess what? He shot them both in the head. They didn't even know what was coming. I'm talking about be careful of your company, the people that you have around you. Know who they are. Know what they're about, man. I'm talking about, first of all, what is a 16-year-old hanging out with, these grown men, 20-something years old. And yet and still, what caused them to want to execute these guys? I'm talking about, they talking about gang related. You want to be down, you want to be cool. Folks, listen, man, 16 years old. He just got sentenced yesterday. 50 years, 25 years for each murders. So, if time go on, he lived through that. He'd be eligible for release at 66 years old. Think about that. Here it is, he destroyed his whole life. Over what? Temper is what gets us into trouble. Pride is what keeps us there. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Temper is what gets us into trouble. Pride is what keeps us there. How in the heck you going to get upset and you're going to take it to the maximum? Over what? Nonsense, people. We have to be better than that. We have to stay and control our emotion. We have to be in control at all times, from the beginning to the middle to the end. Because if you don't do that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be just like that little 16-year-old, going to spend the rest of his life in jail for what? Nothing. To me, I don't care. Even if you had a problem with those young men. You know what? Here it is, the United States is big enough that if I got a problem with you, you know what? I can go elsewhere. I don't have to see you. If we don't live in the same house, if we don't live in the same apartment complex, if we don't go to the same school, if we don't work at the same job, I don't have to see you. You can go over here and I can go over there. You can go to Kentucky and I can go to Missouri. The difference is that's what we have to do. Stop trying to take the law into our own hand. Because every time that you do it, you lose. How many people are tired of losing? I know I am. I used to be the problem. Now I'm seeking to be part of the solution. That's why you see this right here. Later for that. I don't care what anybody say. Somebody come to me, even if I was sitting there with that guy in the backseat of the car, and he tell me we about to do this. Later for that, man. Later for that. Somebody got to be the strong one. Somebody got to be the thinker. Sit back and look at it. And sometimes you got to get people to see the big picture even before it unplay. Listen, okay, man, you do this. You talking about killing these two cats, shooting them in their head. Okay, look at it. You know what's going to happen? Here it is. They're going to die. We going to get life. Is it worth it? I don't care what happened or what was said or what they talk about doing or whatever. Man, it's not worth it. You talking about you got two family mourning for the loss of their boys. And then you got another family mourning because this brother is never coming home. 50 years, when 50 years come and go, guess what's going to happen? He's 66. Is his mom going to be alive? Is his dad going to be alive? Don't have no kids. Okay, do you got brothers? Do you got sisters? Come on, folks. We got to stop picking up the brick, throw it at that prison wall for absolutely nothing. And that's what we do each and every day. trying to be down, trying to be cool. He want to get a better position with the gang. What gang? Why? I got to execute 2 people to get down with the gang? Nah. Later for that, man. That's not worth it. If I'm going to put myself or my family in jeopardy or cause my family pain, later for that, man. Because it's not worth it. Now you got to sit in a jail cell for 50 years. Crying yourself to sleep. You know what? It's going to be miserable. I don't care what anybody say. You're going to learn to adapt. You're going to learn to adjust. But you got to eat all that nasty food. You got to go to bed when they say go to bed. You got to use the bathroom when they say use the bathroom. You got to wash your behind when they say to wash your behind. Okay? You only can see your people when they say you can see your people. Okay? Even with the phone privilege. Now, from my understanding, everywhere you go, you got to pay for your phone calls. So, come on, man. Where's your girlfriend at? At 16, now 18. Where's your girlfriend at? All that you should sit back and think about, folks, before you pick up that brick and do something dumb and end up in a penitentiary or end up in an early grave. You have to think, man, is it going to bring me pain or is it going to bring me pleasure? If it's going to bring me pain to not just me, don't be selfish. Stop thinking about yourself. Don't be selfish. Think about your family. Think about your lovely moms. Think about your dad. Think about your grandparent. Think about your siblings. Think about your aunt and your uncles. Think about your family members, man. And you got to say later for that, man. I don't care. It's not worth it. I spent 15 years in and out of that. 15 years. You know what I used to do? I used to get out and do stupid things. Committing crime, wanting to be down, trying to impress people. You know what? When I learned, when I had all the money in the world, when I was ghetto rich, I was not happy. I was not at peace. Okay, yeah, I can afford to buy everything I want to buy, but that's not love. That's not happiness. That's not what life is all about. What I'm saying is this. I tell people, like I say, this is my life. This is my story. You see that in the background? Get your signed copy of the Brian Glaze Gibbs book. A true story of change and redemption. You know, I talk about the good. I talk about the bad. I talk about the ugly. This is my ministry. You know, this is why I was free. This is why I was blessed to still be here. You know what I'm saying? To tell my story and hoping to get somebody to listen to the words that coming out of my mouth. Get them to understand, man, crime doesn't pay. It's no shortcut in life. It's easy to do the wrong thing. It's easy to do the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? Get up there and learn how to punch a clock. Learn how to give back. Learn how to smile. Learn how to enjoy life. That's what life is all about, man. We killing one another over what, man? Over stupidity. You know, over, he say, she say. That's that kiddie stuff, man. We got to be better than that, people. We have to. We have to learn how to love and respect one another. And if we can't get along, guess what? It's a big enough space to go elsewhere. We don't have to see each other. Only way we have to see each other because you want to see each other. You trying to provoke a situation. That's not what life is all about, man. Like you say right now, look at this young boy. Look at the 2 victims in their 20s. They even haven't started to live, man. But it happening all the time. We have to learn from these lessons, man, because that's what they are. We have to stop allowing history to continue to repeat itself because that's what it's doing. I don't care. Anybody come to you with any type of negative nonsense, ideals, let's do this, let's do that. You have to be strong enough and look them in their eyes and say, later for that. I'm not going out like that. Right now, I bet you any amount of money, that young man, if he can go back to that day and time, after sitting up there for 2 years already, if he can go back to that very exact day and time in the back seat, with that gun, before he used that gun, thinking about what's going to happen to his life, I guarantee you any amount of money he would have said later for that. You know why? Because he saw the future. And sometimes you have to think. You got to think outside the box and see the future. Right now, you got to see that pain. And that's what it is, man. He see it. He see it face on. He got to spend the next 50 years in jail because he fell. In jail because he allowed his emotion to supersede his intellect. In jail because he wasn't strong enough to say later for that. We have to be strong each and every day, folks. We have to love one another, encourage one another, empower one another. Stop hurting each other. Like I say, once again, I was once the problem. Now I'm seeking to be part of the solution. Listen, get your signed copy. You see that? Get your signed copy of the Brian Glaze Gibbs book, Beyond Lucky, by emailing me at Brian, BRIAN, Gibbs, GIBBS, 1201 at yahoo.com. Listen, if I, the one they call Brian Glaze Gibbs, can change, anybody can change. You know why, folks? You have to want to change. Change come from where? Change come from within. That's where it comes from. And right now, I got tired of allowing that prison system to be my home. It became a revolving door. I'm in, I'm out. I'm in, I'm out. I got sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired that I had to say later for that. I'm not doing that no more. I'm not going to keep, putting myself in that predicament no more. I'm not going to keep hurting my family, people that love and care about me. You know why? Because I love them just as much as they love me. But I have to love myself and stop the insanity. You keep doing the same thing over and over, you will keep getting the same result. That's pure insanity. I had to stop that. And that's what I did. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. Look, follow me on Instagram, Brian Glaze Gibbs. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. You know what? Share my story. This is my ministry. I am not your typical minister, but I'm going to talk about the good. I'm going to talk about the bad. I'm going to talk about the ugly. But the most important thing about it, I'm going to talk about later for that, later for negative and nonsense. If it don't make sense, don't do it. Don't do it. You got this big head for a reason. You utilize it. Crime doesn't pay. One love.